Yeah, so the big guy got the full cup. He was there the next night. The next night he told him to a little cup. So, anyways, they fill up the cups and they start passing them out to everybody. So I'm like sitting there with my cup. I got about a half, a little bit over half of a cup full, and this is like dark red. See, this time this ayahuasca was like, I wasn't expecting this. This was actually really fucking gross. It was kind of like jelly. It wasn't swooshing like a liquid. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. And then you smell it, and like even just the thoughts of it right now, like turning my stomach, cringing. So anyways, yeah. So you're sitting there with your cup. Everybody takes a minute and they say a prayer into the ayahuasca. Like you ask Mother Ayahuasca what you're looking for or what you want. You know what I mean? And to be honest, every time I've asked her for what I wanted in my cup, she gave it to me every time. So this time I just asked her, like, you know, give me what I need. You know, I didn't want to put too much stress on it. I said, what do I need right now, basically. So I kind of left it simple like that. So when we went and drank the ayahuasca, so everyone says their prayer, and the shaman says his prayer, and the shaman only took like a little tiny, way smaller than us, but that's because he's been working with it for years, so he needs a little bit of it. Quick little side note about the shamans. Shamans have to train for years. They have these special diets. The shaman that we work with took these 4 different diets, but what it is they basically just have to like eat tree bark, like special trees. They eat the bark of trees for like 4 or 5 months, even longer, because then their spirit connects with the spirit of the tree, and that allows the shaman to connect with us individually and help us through the journeys. So to become like a legitimate shaman in Peru, you pretty much gotta give your whole life up, and it's not it's real dedication basically from those guys. So anyways, they poured all the ayahuasca up for us, and I'm sitting there, and I've drank ayahuasca before, trying to get myself before at home and stuff, and never really worked out that good, but I always had a really hard time holding it down, and that's what my biggest goal was with this. I was like, hey, I really don't want to puke too soon, I want to hold it down. So anyways, drink the ayahuasca, but this was like goopy. It was like putting sand dust in water, stirring it up, making it like thick, and then drinking it, because you're like, it's like glooping out of the cup. It's like you're like you could almost chew it, and you're swallowing it. So basically you were like, oh my fucking god, that was not what I was expecting, and that was absolutely fucking disgusting. So pound that down into you, and then take a swish of water, swish your cup, and get it into you. You come around, pick your cups up. So then you sit there in like they call it a mountain stance. You sit there like your legs crossed, sitting up for about a half hour until you notice the visual effects, so you get dizzy and you can lay down. So the whole time I'm sitting there, it just feels like it's burning in my stomach, like it's a knot. So I started doing Reiki to myself, sending myself energy to calm it down. So that actually really helped. And then about a half hour into it, one of the helpers, he just says you can lie down now. So he lets you know it's been a half hour, that it's kind of absorbed into your system, and you can go on your journey now. So I laid down, and as soon as I laid down, not shifted, I was laying down for maybe like 5 minutes, got up, puked my guts up. So like you would puke once and you'd feel really good, but then the taste of the ayahuasca, you'd puke like 3 or 4 more times after that, because just the taste of that stuff was like, oh my god, man, it's horrible. Like I remember being on the ayahuasca, thinking about drinking it the next day, and I start cringing to the point where my face and my lips start moving uncontrollably. You're just like a real shudder. You're like, this is really, really gross. It got grosser every time you drank it too. So after the half hour, I'm laying down, and then some visuals start coming on. So I've smoked DMT before as a crystal form, and DMT is the active ingredient in the ayahuasca. So I kind of knew what to expect. So I started seeing a lot of visuals. They start coming on, and I'm like, there's a geometric patterns, and I'm like, holy shit, man, this is kind of intense. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of intense. So I guess like a quick little snippet, I guess I could say, I believe that we all have the potential to become gods. You could connect back to God's source, and then you could be like a god in a human form. So, you can manifest whatever you want it, you could heal people whenever you want it, you could fly around, pretty much whatever you imagine and what God would be like. So that was kind of my question, like, is this possible? Could you do this kind of thing? And that's what I kind of wanted to know about ayahuasca. So a lot of visuals came on hard, but then like an hour into the trip, I can kind of like, Mother Ayahuasca kind of just tells me, yeah, like you could do it. It is possible. And then once that happens, like at a point when the visuals are really intense like that, there's a point I was like, whoa, this might be a bit overwhelming. This might be a bit hard. And then I got that message from Mother Ayahuasca, because when you're doing it, you can literally sense a presence or a feeling, like an entity there where you can speak to it, and it kind of like guides you and helps you. And that's Mother Ayahuasca. So she gives me that answer, and then my visuals just kind of stop. It's all black, dark. That's not uncommon for your first ayahuasca experience to not have any visions or psychedelics. That means it's working a lot more internally, and it's releasing blockages and removing limited beliefs. So I got the answer to my question that I wanted, and my visuals died down. But I still had a lot of like intuitive thoughts and feelings. I got visited by a lot of animals. A condor came to me, a cougar, no, it was a panther. A snake came to me, a spider came to me. And at first a snake came to me, and at first the snake's like coiling around my body. There's points when I'd feel very tight, but as he's getting tight, it's like I can feel a lot of like gurgling and releasing from me. So there was points like this snake was like curling through, and there's a point when he's coming down my throat into my stomach, and it's like he was all nice and calm around the outside, but once he got inside me, it's like he just turned into like a snake, and you could feel him just, I'm kind of being vicious in there. But it wasn't like bad or scary, because I could tell he was going through and he was cleansing me, and he was releasing a lot of stuff that I didn't need anymore. I felt like my channels were opened more. Basically, I felt like my healing was way more powerful energetically. Like there was a vision that was coming to me with my hands being able to produce that much energy and heat from my hands that you cook a piece of meat. I don't think that's like that. I'm gonna actually be able to do that right now. But what I was getting from that is that my channels are open more for my healing. My healing's becoming more powerful. Is basically what I got from it. A lot of like stuff came up about my family, people I haven't thought about in years, like a lot of forgiveness, like some of the guys I used to skateboard with, I felt terrible about the way I treated them, forgiveness to them, forgiveness to ex-girlfriends, forgiveness to family, forgiveness for myself. It reminded me of how much, it showed me how grateful and how fortunate and how lucky I am to have all the people I do in my life. I kept seeing them like one by one. I'd see like my mom, I would see my friend Kelsey, Corey, Pat, Will, and they were all just like, it's like they were standing there looking down at me, but they were just elated, so happy that I was getting to go through this experience. They all knew how big it was for me, and every one of them contributed to me so much to get on this trip. They gave me money, support. They just heard out my stories, my theories, because from doing psychedelics and stuff like that, I've just had this immense feeling like, and there's more to life, there's more to me, there's more to everybody here. Like I believe we could be gods. So I felt this feeling so strongly, to the point like some conversations with some friends got too deep, and it was like, it kind of got cut off a bit, just couldn't talk to them about it. It bothered me, it bothered them, because we were best friends for years. But those friends gave me a lot of money towards this trip to go. So in the end, it really showed me, even though they weren't able to talk and hear me out about some parts of it, they were still there with me in heart, because they gave me a bunch of money, like, go do your thing, man, go figure yourself out. So just showed me how lucky I am for everything I have around me, my friends, my family. A big thing that Etnikas has, they kept saying to us, is the more you give, the more you receive. And that was a big thing. So they say, for the three worlds, they say God,